Y'all, I just heard this. Y'all gotta listen to this. This is Pam Bondi talking about Kilmar Abrego Garcia on Fox with Hannity. This is
where he came from, El Salvador. He is sitting in a prison, and every American should be thanking President Trump tonight, and every liberal journalist who has called him a Maryland man and saying he is rightfully in this country should be apologizing tonight to President Trump.
Well, I'm trying to understand that part. I'm looking at the timeline. I'm looking at what the courts have said about him. I'm looking at what ICE has said about him. I'm looking I'm having a hard time understanding why his wife is advocating for him to come back. Why is everybody saying he's a man from Maryland? What do you make of Senator
man from Maryland?
And this performative art that he's involved in El Salvador, and of which he was unsuccessful today?
Well, America is safer because he is gone. Maryland is safer because he is gone. And that woman that he is married to and that child he had with her, they are safer tonight because he is out of our country and sitting in El Salvador where he belongs. These people are there saying because we needed to do, the government needed to do one extra step, they're saying, of paperwork. Here's why. Because initially he claimed there was a rival gang, so he's saying he's a gang member. There's a rival gang in El Salvador, which no longer exists, by the way, that could have hurt him if he had gone back to El Salvador.
That's true.
So there was no ending for him, none, where he would end up staying in this country. And President Bukele made it crystal clear that he is not returning him to our country. Our only job legally was to facilitate it if, according to the Supreme Court, President Bukele wanted him to come back to our country, and he does not want him back, and we do not want him back in our country.
That is not what the Supreme Court said. The Supreme Court said both countries violated his rights, and no country has any tangible proof that he was ever in a gang except 8 years ago, whatever it was. Somebody made an accusation. The police at the time, checked, investigated, that was the Home Depot, so, and there was nothing to it. And the reason, and I've said this before, the reason they said about the reason he was even in America was when he was a teen, his mother was told, "We want your kid for the gang." Basically, you know how they are, if you don't, we kill another kid, or whatever it is, if you don't give him to us for the gang, we'll kill him. So the kid had to leave. That's why. But saying the way she said that woman, if you have time, go just look up it's disgusting. It is. It's not just the venom that those words were said in. If you caught that haughtiness, right? That kind of superior, don't question us attitude. If you saw the expressions on her face, she's got her hair all pulled back, so she looks a lot, what the hell was that? So she looks a lot older than she is. Oh, and did you know that she's married to a guy that's like 30 years older, 40 years, something like that. Yeah. So she's probably used to doing what she's told. That's probably why she's so good at what she does. Lying and gaslighting like a little poisonous lionfish. An invasive species that kills the indigenous and just procreates and consumes everybody that isn't anchored to the ocean floor. Wow. Yeah. You heard that, right? Yeah. I don't think the guy he's either dying or he's gone. There's no reason to seriously, literally die on this hill unless they both know they're in serious, and I'm talking about both presidents, know they're in big trouble. Because he was either gone, the gang, somebody got him, remembered him because it was such a big, blitz about it. And he's either in effed up shape or he's not breathing anymore. Because why not just give it up when they already went there to go get him? I could have opened it up, brought him out, and Senator could come home with him. Van Hollen. So I don't know. What do you think? I just get a feeling that it's not a point of they won't. It's a question of they can't return him. And I really don't like this. I've said this yesterday on videos, but this upset me because the way they're quadrupling and quintupling down on, and he's not coming home, and the whole show, she's talking about, Hannity talks about performative art. That's exactly what coming Monday and talking to Trump. That's exactly what that was. It was performative, and all the Americans, since it's the Supreme Court in America that's got this whole case. If the American citizens, Bondi and Trump and all them, keep saying it's all up to that guy now because he's actually in his country now. If they keep saying that, they're just playing good cop, bad cop, because the Supreme Court really doesn't have any say over him, per se. And the only way is to hold the people that had anything to do with it responsible and find them guilty and send them to prison for high crimes. And you force the hand. Yeah, you can't force the president of another country to do something, especially if the person's in your country. But you can force the people in this country to decide if they want to be in prison themselves or just go get the guy. And if it comes to that will force the hand that if they still refuse, that's because they can't. And if that actually pans out to how it happens, and I wish it wouldn't, but if it does, they need to continue with sentencing them for high crimes. Pam Bondi, Trump, and everybody between and under them that had anything to do and is not speaking up. Can't do much to the other country's president, but or BB or anything else, but you know, I say we have nothing to lose on forcing their hand. Make them present him, or you go in prison too. It's only fair. You imprisoned an innocent man, probably to death, and you refuse to fix the situation, or you can't fix it, so you will rot in prison for as long as you let him rot in prison. Oh, what was that? That was a death camp? Oh, was it? You said it was a prison for terrorists. You didn't say it was a death camp. Oh my. I guess you're in a death camp too then. I guess your sentence is life. Because that's the way it should be. You take an innocent life, you don't get to live a free life for the rest of yours.